What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mcfarlane Toys Target exclusive Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. And so here we have the Target exclusive Spawn pose and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what he comes with. This version of Spawn does come with his battle axe, which looks really good. It looks really nice, very different from the sword. It's a really nice accessory. And then we also do get Spawn's display stage. Other than that, Spawn doesn't come with anything else, unfortunately. So with that out of the way, let's actually have a look at his details. And so here we have a closer look at the Target exclusive Spawn, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's really nothing different base-wise with this figure versus the sword version of Spawn. If I can just bring both of them in right here, virtually the exact same figure. There is no physical difference between them. I guess paint apps could be a little bit different, but paint apps always vary figure to figure, so there's really nothing to say that's new about this figure other than his accessory, which is the battle axe. But let's actually run through his details really fast. Really love the sculpt on him. If you love the sculpt on the sword Spawn, you're going to love this figure too. The cape is done really nicely. You can see the layers. It has that really nice dry brushing and wash effect going on it. And it's just this really beautiful dark red, which looks really gorgeous. I do love it. So, like I said, there's really nothing completely different about this Spawn other than various paint apps and applications, which it always varies figure from figure. I do like the paint apps. The paint apps are really nice. I do think that the chain belt right here looks a little more weathered. It might just be my imagination, which it probably is just my imagination. So moving that Spawn back off, we do get his really nice gauntlet here, which has these really heavy spikes on them. And I do say, like I did with the original version, be careful with these, because these will poke and prod you. Very sharp figure, and I don't mean like the sculpt is sharp, which the sculpt is sharp, but these spikes will hurt you if you're not careful on where you're positioning yourself, so be aware of that. One thing I didn't notice about this version of Spawn is that they didn't quite apply his thigh belt properly. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of a gap just right there above his thigh. On the original version of Spawn, as you can see, he doesn't have that gap. So it's just a minor detail that I do have to point out on mine, is that the belt right here isn't properly applied. It's like just a centimeter too low, and you can see it right there. It's not a huge issue. You're never going to notice it from a distance, so again, I can live with something like that. But yeah, it's everything we've seen on the sword Spawn just in this figure, and it's another way to get Spawn out there. It's another way to have Spawn on the shelf, so I can see why Mcfarlane did that. Kind of sneaky that they threw in a different weapon and called it an exclusive. But they could have thrown in another weapon, like a gun. Spawn uses guns, or just something different to make it worth more of a purchase than just a new weapon. Granted, the weapon does look really nice, so I can't really fault them for that. Again, it's one of those, you're either going to want it for the axe or you're just going to want it for Spawn, and most collectors probably aren't going to pick up more than one Spawn, so it's pick your poison on which weapon you want. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at how he compares to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Spawn posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Spawn posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Spawn posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And for one final comparison, here we do have the Target exclusive Spawn posed next to the Sword Spawn. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually jump into his articulation, which is the exact same as the sword Spawn. He does have a double ball joint in the neck, letting him look up and down really well. Can't tilt his head side to side. He does look left and right, no problem. Arms are on a ball joint that do rotate in that joint. They can pivot up, pivot down. Have a slight butterfly joint, which that varies figure to figure. Arms do go out to the side very nicely. Does a full 360, just be very careful for the cape. The cape will hinder articulation as always, and the train is going by. I might apologize for that. We do have a bicep swivel. Double bend in the elbow, although just like with the previous version, all this that he has on will get in the way of articulation, and that is a really stiff joint that doesn't want to move. Let's see on this side. Yeah, it's still hindered, but it is moving, so double jointed, but hindered. And then we have a ball hinge at the wrist, which is the exact same that we saw on the original Spawn. I just can't see which direction that's facing. Is that up and down? Yeah, that's up and down. This one is in and out, I believe so. I can't really see the joint. Yes, this one is in and out. So ball hinge at the wrist. We have a ball joint at the waist. Works fine. Going back and forward. Goes back and forward, no problem. Rotates at the chest. Rotates at the waist. We do have legs that kick out to about that high. Kick back pretty far. Go all the way out to the side. So Spawn can throw out karate kicks, so I do like that. Interesting enough, we do get a slight thigh swivel, which I believe the other Spawn did have. We have double bend at the knee, and dang, those are really sharp. They do poke. Double bend in the knee works really nicely. Once you get that straightened out, we do have a swivel here at the ankle. Ball hinge at the foot, so it does go back and forward. Forward facing pin for rocker ankle, and you can rotate that to get a true rocker ankle. And then of course we do have a very generous toe hinge, with his right foot being hindered because of his giant boot. Other than that, there's not really much more to say about this Spawn. It's the same that we saw with the original release. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually go on to my final thoughts. And so here we do have the Target exclusive Spawn posed for my final thoughts. And overall, this is another solid release from Mcfarlane. I really am liking their 22-point articulated system that they're doing with a lot of their newer figures. Now, one thing I do have to stress about this figure, it's the exact same Spawn figure that we got earlier in the year, but instead of a sword, we get an axe. So it's really up to you if you want to pay for the axe version or the sword version, or you can be like me and get both. Honestly, it really doesn't matter how you spend your money, but if you want to get both versions of Spawn, you can do that. If you really just want a Spawn figure with a cool weapon and either one is for you, just pick up one of them. You really don't need 3 different versions of Spawn, because we are getting one with a mace down the road, which I do have that on pre-order. If you are looking for this particular version of Spawn, he is Target exclusive, so you do have to go to Target to find him. Luckily, I didn't have to go through the hassle of looking for him in the store. I actually found him online at Target.com, ordered him for an online pickup, went into Target right after work and got him. No hassle, no fuss, no nothing. If you're lucky enough to find them online, or if the listing is still up, definitely get this figure if you need a Spawn figure, want the axe, or just need another Spawn in your collection. I don't know what you collect. If you collect Spawn, this is another solid figure. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Mortal Kombat and Mcfarlane videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.